Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing a slightly different kind of video. It's not really anything K-beauty related or fashion style, lifestyle, whatever. Well, kind of lifestyle, but we'll get into that. Recently I've been thinking a lot about culture and in regards to me particularly, and I've seen a lot of people making YouTube videos about being third culture kids. So I was reading earlier today an article on The Telegraph, and I found an article about the 10 biggest struggles of a third culture kid, and I decided to go through it. If you don't know what a third culture kid is, it's basically someone who grew up in a country or a culture that isn't where either of their parents are from or their original nationality, like where they have their passport from. Those are third culture kids. I struggle with a lot of things in terms of like culture and identity, mainly to do with where I'm from, like who I am and like what defines me or whatever. Anyway, so that's the whole vibe of this video. So for those of you who don't know, I am half British, half Indonesian. My dad's from England, my mom's from Indonesia. They got together and they created this. So those are where my parents are from. But then I was born in Indonesia, and then after I was born, my parents were living in Tanzania in Africa. So that's where I lived for the first 5 years of my life, or 4 years or something like that. After that we moved to New York, and then I lived there until I was about 13, and then we moved back to England. So anyway, so I have the article here on my laptop. I'm dying slightly. I was just gonna read through the points, there's 10 points here, and see which ones I relate to. Come to a conclusion at the end on whether or not I am a third culture kid, or maybe it'll just be interesting that, because maybe I am. I don't know. I'm still confused about the whole definition or concept, but hey, let's try to relate to some shit. I'll link this article down below, by the way, if anyone wants to like read it. Number 1 is answering the question, where are you from? I definitely 100% find this to be like the weirdest, most awkward thing ever because I hate it. And sometimes I get that based on the way I look, or sometimes it's just like a general question. But what I hate is the ambiguity of that question when they're like, oh, where are you from? Like, that's it. Not like, where are you born, or what's your nationality, just where are you from? And I have to go through the whole cycle of explaining,
well, my parents are from here and here, but I was born here, but then I didn't live there. I lived here, here, and here.
And it's so confusing. The first struggle. Number 2 is explaining your international accent. Yeah. This is definitely, like, I don't think I have an international accent, but like I have had like issues with my accent in the past because I mainly grew up in America when I was a kid. But like my family is English and my dad is English, and now I live here in England. My accent for like a long time, probably still a bit now, is like a mesh of like English and American. I don't think my friends notice it much anymore, or maybe they do and they just don't tell me about it. I can't tell the difference a lot of the time between an American accent and an English accent. Like, my brain just doesn't pick it up unless it's like very regional. I usually always get questions like, oh, where's your accent from? Blah blah blah. Or people think I've got a completely different accent. Like, some people think I'm Australian, some people think I'm from South Africa. I've had Northern Ireland before. That's definitely something that I get a lot, is what's up with your voice, man. Third one is mixing up your languages. I unfortunately only speak the one language fluently. I only speak English. However, I think that in terms of languages, being a third culture kid has like benefited me in the sense that I'm quite open to foreign languages, as well as being able to pick them up quite easily. I say this, but yeah, I'm still not fluent or like confident enough to speak any other languages, but I do enjoy learning them. And to be fair, like, I do sometimes like say some things in French or think in French, but like only very basic things that got like drilled in there. Yeah, that's definitely what's going on in terms of languages in this little multicultural noggin. Number 4 is planning holidays. The article says that apparently like third culture kids have an issue because like family is all over the world and friends are all over the world due to like moving around. Luckily, my immediate family and my like half of my family all live in the UK, so planning holidays and going to see family really isn't that difficult for me, except for my mom's side of the family, which they're obviously all in Indonesia, and I haven't actually seen them in 5 years because that was how long it's been since the last time I went to Indonesia. So that's a little bit sad. Number 5 is long distance friends and relationships. I don't have any. Number 6 is dealing with ridiculous questions. I mean, I guess when I first moved, like, a lot of people not really that, but they weren't that, like, ridiculous. It was sort of just like, oh, is, like, high school exactly, is it like how it is in the movies and stuff like that, which I could never answer because I didn't go to high school in America. I went to high school here. High school, they don't really have high school. People don't really ask me that many questions. Number 7 is a constant need to travel. Yes, I feel this one right here. It hurts me. I definitely get, like, bored when I've been in a place for too long, which I guess has come from the fact that growing up, like, my family and just, like, our lifestyle there was like a lot of travel involved. When I was younger, me and my brother and, like, my family in general, we used to fly back and forth kind of between the 3 countries wherever we were. We were always flying to England to visit my dad's family, or to Indonesia to visit my mom's family, and, like, back and, like, all sorts. Number 8 is passports and immigration. I don't know why this one's under, like, a struggle, because personally I find this great, because immigration, especially since, like, Indonesia is not a European country where, like, everything's sort of, like, chill between everyone, for now anyway. Certain people from certain countries have to go through, like, super long or, like, intense immigration lines. That's just the way it is. So, like, a lot of places, if you have, like, an English passport, you get an easier time because you're from England, and then, like, in Indonesia, if you have an Indonesian passport, you have an easier time because you're a citizen. It would always be, like, me and my brother with our 2 passports, with one of our parents going through, like, the locals immigration and then, like, our other parent would stand by themselves for, like, hours, I'm exaggerating, but, like, for ages, basically, in, like, the foreigners line. So it was kind of nice to be able to, like, switch them up. Number 9 is explaining your lifestyle. I don't think I have an issue explaining my lifestyle because no one really asks. It's definitely weird. Like, there's a lot of things that I like to do, or that my family does, that people that I'm friends with that are just English don't understand. Recently I've been trying really hard to sort of, like, find more sort of either, like, mixed kids or, like, foreign kids and stuff like that, just to find people that are more like me, because it's kind of hard to do that. And the last one is different currencies and costs of living. It's saying here basically that a lot of third culture kids you get used to the currency that you grew up with. So for me that was dollars, and I think that's definitely true for me because I also do, like, basically have to, like, reference how much something is in dollars for it to, like, make sense to me about, like, how much it is. It's mainly for, like, other currencies that aren't pounds or dollars. Pounds I'm okay with now, like, I know basically what things are worth compared to each other in pounds, but when other things are, like, in Korean won, it's a really easy sort of conversion from won to dollars, and I know the relationship between dollars and pounds, so I can kind of see how much something is, or if something's cheap or something's not cheap, I can tell. But yeah, so it does end up being just sort of like, whatever currency it is, change it into dollars, and then in my head I can say, oh, okay, if it's that many dollars, it's this many pounds, that means it's, like, it's cheap or it's not cheap, or it's this relative to this. Yeah, so those are all of the struggles of being a third culture kid. I found that quite interesting to read, I think, because it definitely does highlight a lot of things that I feel, that I relate to. I don't know, I find the whole sort of, like, third culture kid thing really interesting, especially the fact that it's coming up a lot now on YouTube, or maybe that's just because that's the kind of stuff that I watch, and everyone's coming together, everyone's more willing to, like, experience different cultures and stuff, which I think is really cool. So yeah, I mean, if there's any third culture kids out there watching this video, then, like, drop a comment, say hi, you know. I'd love to, like, share experiences. But other than that, for all you English kids or single culture kids, I hope you found this video interesting, and to anyone who is subscribed to me or knows me who didn't know any of this stuff, well, now you know a little bit more about me. So, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, drop it a like down below, and if you're new to my channel, please do subscribe. The button is there, I don't know, somewhere, and I'll see you in my next video. There might be another reaction video coming up because Monster X is going to drop their next comeback in a few days. So I'll see you then. Bye!